Tobago, good morning. It is 6:19 a.m. Let me take this time to welcome you to Sunrise here on Tobago Updates Television. I am your host, Lavian Cupid, and we are coming to you live from the Port Mall, downtown Scarborough, Tobago. Today is finally Wednesday, the 31st of December, 2025. The hours are counting down. It's all years. Is your black eyed peas already soaked? Are you traditional? Are you keeping up with traditions? Are you heading to church tonight? So much has happened in 2025, not only here in Tobago, in Trinidad and Tobago, but worldwide. We saw so much unfold. I want to thank you so much for joining me here this morning, waking up early and choosing Sunrise. It's always a pleasure to be seated here before you. And because we have a packed show for you this morning, I'm going to jump right into it with the morning brief, keeping you updated with all things current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago as a wider entity, regionally and internationally. Kickstarting the morning, Chief Secretary Fali Augustine has refuted claims made by the Tobago Council of the PNM that his administration has sold out no man's land to a private developer. On a political platform on Monday night, Augustine said no such deal has been made. He went on to explain that the THA was approached by a gentleman who offered to develop booths and bathroom infrastructure free of charge to assist the vendors. The chief said the gentleman's only request was that the THA take charge of the maintenance of the structures thereafter. Augustine said he advised the gentleman to make a proposal and engage in dialogue with the vendors so that the project may be developed to accommodate their specific needs. Some 2 weeks after the Tobago Council of the People's National Movement revealed their big, bold, red manifesto ahead of the January 12th THA election, the Tobago People's Party has announced the unveiling of its, quote, blueprint for Tobago, a strategic plan for the future development and governance of the island. The event will be held tomorrow at the newly constructed Uptown Fascinators Pantent in Smithfield, Scarborough, beginning at 6 p.m. And of course, Tobago Updates Television, we will be bringing you coverage and keeping you highlighted with those developments. Fire Officer Bruce Lizama has been found murdered and dumped off a precipice of Blanchisseuse Road in Arima yesterday afternoon. Lizama, who was reported missing by relatives on Sunday, December 28, 2025, was reportedly dragged out of his home and taken away in his vehicle. CCTV footage showed the assailants withdrawing cash from the victim's bank card later that day. Police say Lizama was robbed twice previously, and after recognizing one of the assailants, he later confronted him. The Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service has issued a statement extending condolences to Lizama's loved ones, friends, and colleagues. Investigations are continuing. What a way to end the year. Some very, very tragic developments there. Taking a look regionally, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Newly minted Prime Minister Godwin Friday addressed the issue of substantial unpaid payrolls and debts owed to local businesses, describing the scale of the debt discovered after entering government following Ralph Gonzalez's 20-year reign as, quote, an eye-opener and an exorbitant amount. Speaking to local media on the island, Friday emphasized that when the government fails to pay these local entities, it effectively, quote, takes money out of the economy, leaving businesses unable to pay their own staff or suppliers. Regarding his plans for local debt, PM Friday announced a new policy to ensure that small contractors and businesses providing ordinary services to the government are paid within 28 days of completing their work satisfactorily. While he does not yet have a definitive date for when the entire multi-year backlog of debt will be cleared, he stated that the government will work to settle these debts in increments. You know, this is so interesting because we have the same conversation right here on our island. Tobago, the Tobago House of Assembly, and we have local contractors and service providers always complaining. It's always they never paid on time. Their business pay the price. They struggle to pay staff, struggle to pay their own bills, and it goes to show that governments worldwide have the same issue, and we sometimes wonder why we can't get it right, even after so many promises, even after seeing what would have been done before, why we can't get it right. And finally, wrapping up the news brief this morning, internationally, Israel is set to revoke the licenses of 37 aid groups operating in Gaza and the occupied West Bank, saying the groups have failed to meet requirements under new registration rules. Well-known international non-governmental organizations, NGOs, such as Action Aid, the International Rescue Committee, and the Norwegian Refugee Council are among those that will see their licenses suspended on January 1st, with their operations to end within 60 days. Israel said the groups, among other things, had failed to hand over complete personal details of their staff. The move was heavily criticized by foreign ministers from 10 countries, including the UK, who said the new rules were restrictive and unacceptable. They added that the humanitarian situation in Gaza remained catastrophic and called on Israel's government to ensure NGOs were able to operate in a sustained and predictable way. Hundreds of civilians have died of starvation since the start of the war on October 7th, 2023, due to Israel's blockade. Most of the victims were children under the age of 5. We keep ending the year on a sad note. Some very, very troubling news there. And then, we have civil unrest in Yemen, in Sudan, in the DRC. So much just happening around the world. But that's it for the morning brief here on Sunrise, keeping you updated with all things current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago as a wider entity, regionally and internationally. As promised, it is all ears. I don't have any drinks that we could sip on this morning, but we do have an interesting show. Speaking with us this morning is none other than IDEA political leader, Dr. Denise Soyafat Angus, and she's here to speak to us on the recent comments made by Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar regarding the country, as she labeled the country a lawless dump. She did had some additional comments there after where she said if the People's National Movement does not care about its constituencies, then the United National Congress cares about their supporters and all law-abiding citizens in Trinidad and Tobago. And we have to call out the problem in order to fix it. So we speak to Dr. Soyafat Angus this morning, and we have her take on the issue and the political landscape here on the island. We also have a short, brief wrap-up for you, a 2025 wrap-up that is going to be quite interesting at the end of the program. So make sure and stay tuned. I want to thank you so much if you're joining us via one of our social media handles, your OG, and you're viewing us on Facebook. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you're viewing us via AMPLIA, Flow, or Digicel, thank you for making Tobago Updates your number one on this all years, the 31st of December 2025. We're going to take a quick break, but be right back as we dive right into that conversation. In the meantime, enjoy the aerial view by our technical team, and do me a favor, share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back. Ready to rewind the clock and ring in 2026 80s style. Magdalena Grand Beach and Golf Resort invites you to an unforgettable New Year's Eve retro party on December 31st, 2025 at the Tobago Lounge from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. No babysitter? No problem. The kids' slumber party is on. Let the kids have their own night of fun while you dance the night away. All at the small cost of 100 TT per child. Early bird tickets $450 single and $800 per couples. For further details, you can contact us at 868-660-8500 or email guest.service@magdalenagrand.com.
Deltec Distributors Christmas Specials is here. Choose from our festive meat packages at unbeatable prices, perfect for your holiday feast. Hurry! Limited packages. Order now. Package 1, $4.99. 11 pounds of leg of Thai chicken, 5 pounds pork, 5 pounds turkey, 1 picnic ham, 1 liter pear jacks, package 2, $4.99. 11 pounds leg and tail chicken, 5 pounds pork, 5 pounds turkey cubes, 1 chicken ham, 1 liter pear jacks, package 3, $600. 11 pounds leg and tail chicken, 5 pounds pork, 5 pounds turkey wings, 1 whole turkey, 1 liter pear jacks, package 4, $535. 11 pounds leg and tail chicken, 5 pounds pork, 5 pounds turkey wings, 3 pounds fish ham, 1 liter pear jacks for $359-5040 or 237-0102. Delivery available for just $20. Deltec Distributors, Main Road, Argyle, Tobago.
This Christmas, Santa isn't the only one checking his list. At Lambo Credit Union, we're helping you give the gift that truly lasts. Introducing our Christmas Share Certificates. A gift of saving, a gift of security, a gift of love. Whether you're starting small or saving big, every share brings you closer to your dreams. Share Certificates starts as low as $100 up to $1,000 in share value. A Christmas Share Certificate isn't just a gift, it's a legacy, a promise, a head start for the ones you love. Give the gift of financial freedom this Christmas. Visit either branch of the Lambo Credit Union or call us at 639-5060 to learn more today. Lambo Credit Union, always here for you.
Welcome back to Sunrise here on Tobago Updates Television. Thank you so much for staying with us. A beautiful aerial view of Scarborough outside. Thank you to our technical team here at Tobago Updates Television. As promised this morning, we are having conversations with Dr. Denise Sawyer-Fat Angus as she speaks to us on the recent comments made by Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar describing the nation as a lawless dump to justify her government's recent stance on doubling traffic fines. Good morning, Dr. Angus. Thank you so much for joining us, and season's greetings.
Good morning, Lavian, and season's greetings to you and to your friend and this morning.
Thank you so much. So, a lawless dump. What are your comments on that this morning, Dr. Angus?
The Prime Minister is absolutely, out of control. I mean, it seems like she is desperate, making statements that are, attracting the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And, sometimes I wonder whether these statements are a distraction. So it pulls you into one set of discussions, and you wonder what else is going on behind the scenes while we are being dragged into this level of conversation. Totally unacceptable for somebody who we expect is the leader of our country.
Political leaders, even political analysts would have commented thereafter the Prime Minister's statement and denouncing her statement, saying that it was reckless, saying that it was not becoming of a Prime Minister. However, the Prime Minister sought to double down. And I want to read here to you what she said. She said that unless we call out the issue and unless the issue is called out, it will remain broken. She said if the People's National Movement doesn't care about its citizens within its constituencies, where she says has the highest murder rates, highest unemployment, poorest infrastructure, and worst educational facilities, she will do everything possible to uplift both UNC and PNM supporters. However, she said, quote, if the PNM has no ambition for its supporters, so be it. But I want the best for UNC supporters and law-abiding citizens. The country is a lawless dump and everyone contributed to it. That's the truth. End quote. Quite a bit here. I want to zone in a bit on this, on her comment where she said she wants the best for UNC supporters and law-abiding citizens, because the phrase law-abiding citizens have been bantered around quite a bit when we speak about the attack on Venezuelan vessels, even the presence of the US military here. It's always, well, it doesn't affect law-abiding citizens. If you're a law-abiding citizen, unless you support drug trafficking, you should be fine. What are your comments on that, ma'am?
Well, as I said before, I mean, we have to start, you ever say the Tobago fish is right from the end. And so when we're talking about lawlessness and law abiding, we need to start speaking about the fact that the Prime Minister and her cabinet have never formally discussed or debated this issue of getting involved in the conflict between USA and Venezuela. And therefore, is it that the constitution needs reform, or were they lawless in ignoring the constitution about bringing something like this into the parliament for discussion? Was it disrespect to the people of Tobago lawless when she just dropped the radar in Tobago, supposedly without the knowledge of the chief secretary or discussion? Was that lawless? Was it lawless in supporting violence without evidence due process or accountability? And the killing at sea that occurred, killing of the people at sea that occurred, calling it security policy. Was that lawless? On an international scale, that was absolutely lawless and unacceptable. And we are being embroiled in all of that with the conflict in all of the international discussions. So you can't talk about lawlessness in the country without looking at what you're doing as being a lawless government. So we have a challenge where we are now in a period of bad governance. I mean, we were in bad governance before, we're in worse governance now. And the Prime Minister and her cabinet need to come up with better ideas as how to really make money from this country rather than taxing the residents and having punitive fine hikes into what is going to float the economy of this country. The oil and the drag and gas is gone. Oil and gas has become an unpredictable economic driver for us. And they have to have better ideas as to how they're going to put this economy back on track. Because all that they're doing says to the people clearly, these are austerity measures being put in place, and yet you're not being honest with the people and saying, hey, we have a crisis in the country, and we have to find ways and solutions to keep ourselves afloat, and involve people in the participatory process of contributing as to what could be the solution.
But Dr. Angus, even as the Prime Minister would have labeled the country a lawless dump, in recent times, or at least I could say from April 28th to now, there has been an increase in what looks like racial aggression within the Trinidad and Tobago space. When you look at comments being made online, recently we had COSTAT had to send out a media release based on racial comments made by member of staff, member of their faculty, in defense of the United National Congress administration. And so here we are with the Prime Minister labeling the country a lawless dump. But in your view, ma'am, where do you think all this renewed racial tension among citizens has come from?
So it's not new. It seems like anytime there's a change in government, you do have those tensions happening, especially in Trinidad, where you have the racial divide, where politics is concerned. But you expected it to be a little bit different this time around, because while the Prime Minister speaks to the fact that it was just UNC supporters that she's focusing on. It wasn't just UNC supporters that had them win in Trinidad and Tobago. PNM supporters either stayed home or voted for them. And when you're the Prime Minister, you're the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago in totality, not Prime Minister of UNC supporters in Trinidad and Tobago. And so perhaps it is some of those comments that keep sending mixed messages to the public that, hey, we are governing for one group of people and not another, and that fuels their base to become involved, well, both bases to become involved in the race war. It is unfortunate because at the end of the day, we are Trinidad and Tobago, we are, mixed races inside of Trinidad and Tobago, and by now we should have the maturity of not just showing up in church to say we are worshiping together and putting on dabs of each other during national holidays, but that we are truly working together in the interest of one Trinidad and Tobago.
And before we wrap, Dr. Angus, I want to speak to the sitting administration, sitting United National Congress administration, and their campaign promises that seems to be quite different from what is being rolled out now that they are actually sitting in government. Is it that our people, we are now desensitized to politicians that say one thing and don't stick to it? Because we would have had the Prime Minister lambast the past administration about taxing yourself into prosperity or taxing yourself in order to pay bills. But now we have citizens saying, what are we going to do come 2026? We have even increased prices for birth and death registrations. Is it that we are now desensitized? Is it that now we don't trust politicians, or we just go with the flow?
That is a very interesting and relevant question at this time, because we have seen where politicians are prepared to lie their way into office, and then what you get right after. And we're seeing that with the politics happening in Tobago at this time, where you have a current administration that is now promising the world when they failed in the last 4 years. And the last administration who was there, they're also promising things that they have no intention of keeping. I mean, we had a call from a financier who said to us, are you prepared to lie to people to get into office? We said no. And so the idea has been struggling for finances to do our campaign, but at least we know that we are campaigning from the heart, and whatever we are promising is what the people will get. Now, those others who are out there throwing money around and doing whatever, those are just promises. Again, if you look at their manifestos, they are promises. If you look at the IDEA manifesto released online, we actually have a year one as to what we're going to, how we're going to operate and what we're going to do in terms of using the Tobago House of Assembly Act to empower communities, not just with a structure, but also with the finances, so communities can begin to make money and become part of the engine driver for Tobago. If we think this country is in an economic crisis now, Tobago will feel the brunt of it. And that 5% we think that we are getting way too rough, with all the austerity measures that the government is putting into place, we cannot depend on that money to come, and we have to use that money wisely, not in building shiny buildings and all these monstrosity projects that these two entities are putting forward. We are focusing on placing that money into the hands of our communities, in communities where it will get closer to the ground, where our people will now start to see themselves moving from poverty into prosperity, where we can begin to see the turnaround of our economic status in Tobago. I listened to Vanna James, and it is painful to see the actual reality. Yes, people are feeling it in their pockets when they go to the grocery and they cannot buy as much as they would have bought before. But to actually see the figures, to understand that we have decreased by 10% in 4 years, where are we going to go? I mean, we're going to be sucking salt really much worse than we are now if we put back any of those two people in government. Granted, we don't have the resources to campaign like them, but you better know that once we get in there, we are committed to the people because it is the people and the people only that put us there. And so let me say thank you ahead of time for your vote on behalf of our candidates who are working hard, turning, stone into bread to be able to serve you and to campaign with you and to let you know that once you get in there, they are serving you from the heart. Our symbol is the heart. Vote for the IDA on January 12th. I am asking you for your future, for the betterment of Tobago, to put the IDA into office.
Thank you, Dr. Soyafat Angus. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Viewers, we were speaking to Innovative Democratic Alliance political leader, Dr. Denise Soyafat Angus, as we spoke to the Prime Minister's comments labeling the country as a, quote, lawless dump, even going further to speak on whether or not the People's National Movement support their constituencies. The programming here on Sunrise is not over. We are going to take a quick break and be right back with our 2025 wrap up. So stay tuned. Looking forward to seeing you back on this side in a bit.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships. It's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Welcome back to Sunrise here on Tobago Updates Television. It is Wednesday, December 31st, 2025. The year is done. That is it. But 2025 was a busy year. We started off in January as the House of Representatives passed the newly redesigned coat of arms with the steel pan on it. Prominent attorney Martin George said, "Take the coquelicot off too," describing the bird as an awful pest. Then we had Police Commissioner Erla Harewood Christopher arrested. That debacle clouded February, but not the Tobago People's Party, as they screened candidates for the general election that was approaching. On March 16th, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley resigned, but not before the People's National Movement seemingly fell apart internally. Penny or Stuart finally unveiling Stuart Young as Dr. Rowley's replacement. After the People's National Movement painted Woodford Square red with the unveiling of all 41 candidates, with Dr. Rowley giving his swan song speech and shaking a leg on stage, and just one day after being minted Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, PM Young announced Monday, April 28, 2025 as the date for the general election, a date forever etched in our minds. Meanwhile, on the island, the Tobago People's Party wasn't sure who was the chosen candidate for Tobago West. Then, at a political meeting held at Ravenel's, Joel Nutsi Sampson was announced. The day came, Shamfa in red and Nutsi in blue in the west, and Ayana in red, Watson in black, and Tomo in blue in the east. By 8 p.m. on that fateful night, the east was declared blue. But the west was a nail-biting frenzy to the very end. 1 minute, Nutsi was on top. Next minute, Shamfa was on top. And Trinidad was looking yellower and yellower by the minute. Finally, Trinidad 80% yellow, 20% red, and Tobago blue. The mighty PNM conceded. The new Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, ready to serve her second non-consecutive term, Kamla Persad Bisesa SC. The air smelled of home invasion bills, Petrotrin, and 10% back pay. Dr. Rowley stepped down from the party leadership, and Penelope Beckles became the first female leader of the People's National Movement. We witnessed the largest cabinet ever sworn in. Online commenters had a bit to say about the return of Anil Roberts, but the jubilation in the UNC camp was euphoric. Even TPP supporters and assemblymen were dressed to the nines and present. Then it started. Stuart Young was left stranded by his security personnel on a walkabout within his constituency, as the team was abruptly pulled. The PM said her government inherited a $4.2 billion deficit. The Tobago Chamber called for the re-implementation of the Ministry of Tobago Affairs. Then on June 23rd, our first female Secretary of Finance, Petalan Roberts, delivered the fiscal 2026 budget of $3.71 billion, saying Tobago will accept nothing less. Then on July 18th, state of emergency, which we are still under, debatable, the removal of the demerit point system as well. All this while on island, Tutor Tobago wasted no time mincing words on the state of the island schools in preparation for the new school term. Then August came. No Independence Day celebrations. But at least Tobago October Carnival was approaching, and the budget. The date for the budget, which is usually predictable, became a guessing game. But September wasn't done with us yet, no. On September 2nd, the U.S. destroyed the first Venezuelan vessel, killing 4 persons on board. The PM infamously said, "Kill them all violently." Prime Minister Kamla Persad Bisesa later that month met with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and we were informed that the dragon was indeed not dead. Yes, the dragon was actually alive. It was resurrected. It died after, but at that point in time, it was alive. But Venezuela had other plans for us. The budget finally read on October 13th, and it's still being debated. The TPP says it's Tobago's largest allocation to date, while the PNM says, no, that's just fancy talk. 10% back pay announcement. While on island, we had a new Secretary of Tourism, well, at least for culture and antiquities, Zorisha Amina Hackett. She was also still the Secretary for the Division of Education. Stirred up quite a fuss, prompting Chief Secretary Fali Augustine to say, listen, I delegate as I see fit. End of story. Carnival came off beautifully. We ramagé, we TTV. Tobago Updates brought you coverage live. Then, boom, on August 28th, persona non grata. Our PM declared as such by the Venezuelan state. Then November and December mirrored each other. Radar. Tobago's secret radar, that grenada refused, that can detect drugs but really wasn't made to detect drugs, but did detect quite a bit of drugs. And whether or not the chief secretary knew in advance that we were getting a radar. Persons were now saying, are we really winning? Persons were not feeling like winners. Some were still feeling like winners online. But also the THA election date, which the chief said he was praying on, much to the disapproval of the PNM, who said they couldn't depend on his prayers. The Prime Minister eventually aligning TNT with the US, the chief finally revealing the date as January 12th. And then Keegan Denoon crossed the floor. Watson Duke supported the TPP. The back pay actually really looked like 4% and from future bonds. And then finally, Leroy George crossed the floor. And here we are at the end of 2025 with a lot happening. The Tobago House of Assembly election still got it for Monday, January 12, 2025. But while all of this was happening in Trinidad and Tobago, internationally we had a lot happening. We still have the war in Ukraine continuing. We have US President Donald Trump seemingly saying that he is going to end that war with discussions. The war in Gaza seemingly over, not seemingly over. Yemen still in unrest. South Sudan. Listen, we saw Diddy go to prison. What did we not see in 2025? 2026, we are hoping for diplomatic talks. We are hoping for humanitarian aid. We are hoping for humanity as a whole and some humility. We are hoping for less racial tensions within Trinidad and Tobago. We are hoping that we finally embrace that we are a cosmopolitan nation and that we all deserve to be right here. But you know what? Tobago Updates Television, we are going to be here for you all through 2026 and continuing, bringing you coverage of all things current affairs, having the discussions that you need to have. I want to say thank you so much to each and every one of you for always choosing us, always choosing Tobago Updates Television. But you know the programming here is not done yet, it's all ears. And we are heading over to the morning show with the lovely Renessa. Renessa, good morning, my dear.
Good morning, Lavian. That was quite a recap. Some of those things I actually forgot about. Thank you for reminding me. That was quite a mouthful.
I think 2025 was colorful to say the least.
Yes, indeed. Very colorful. There were so many twists and turns that you didn't even expect. It couldn't be predicted.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to 2026 and I want to wish you a wonderful, wonderful show today. I know you will definitely have a packed one for them and all the best for 2026. Stay lovely, okay?
Same to you, my dear.
All right, viewers, so that is it here for Sunrise on Tobago Updates Television. I want to thank you so much for waking up early at 6:15 a.m. to join me here. I would see you right here next week, Monday, as we dive right back into the Tobago House of Assembly election. We have candidates on, we have experts on, political analysts, past and present assemblymen, having the discussions that you need to hear right here on Tobago Updates Television as you make that decision on that fateful day where you will put your X. Thank you again for joining us, and I want to wish you a bright and prosperous, and all of us, most importantly, a peaceful 2026. See you in 2026.
Welcome to Belgo's Funeral Home, where we celebrate life's precious moments. From the moment you enter our doors, you're met with kindness and care. Our reception area is designed to be more than just a waiting room. It is a place of calm thoughtfully created to ease the weight of grief. In our private conference room, conversations are guided by empathy. Here, our client experience coordinators sit beside you, not just across the table, to help plan a service that truly reflects your loved one's story. Whether it's a traditional farewell or a personalized celebration of life, we take time to understand your wishes and offer thoughtful guidance. At the heart of our organization is a dedicated manager who ensures that everything runs smoothly, from the smallest detail to the final farewell. We understand that choosing a casket or a coffin is a deeply personal decision. In our selection room, we provide a calm, respectful environment where families can take their time and explore options that reflect their loved one's life, beliefs, and preference. Our spacious chapel is where memories are honored and lives are celebrated. Designed with serenity and warmth, it provides a welcoming space for families and friends to come together in reflection and remembrance. For families choosing cremation, we offer on-site professional cremation services in a setting that upholds dignity, peace, and confidentiality. Our crematorium offers a seamless and respectful alternative to traditional burial, giving families flexibility while maintaining the highest standard of care.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers. It is Youth Wednesdays, and this morning I'm stepping in for Natalia and I'm your host, Renessa Ortiz. It is Wednesday, 31st December 2025. It is New Year's Eve, All Year's Day, whichever one you want to call it. We want to welcome you this morning and thank you for joining us yet again on another episode here at Tobago Updates. We want to thank you viewers who are joining us on AMPLIA 102 Digital Channel 33, who are joining us on YouTube and Facebook Live. Welcome. This morning we have such a packed rundown for you, but before we get into all of that, we're going to head over to news in 90 seconds. And here's what's making news in 90 seconds for Wednesday, December 31st, 2025. Chief Secretary Fali Augustine has refuted claims made by the Tobago Council of the PNM that his administration has sold out no man's land to a private developer. On a political platform on Monday night, Augustine said no such deal has been made. He went on to explain that the THA was approached by a gentleman who offered to develop booths and bathroom infrastructure free of charge to assist vendors. The chief said the gentleman's only request was that the THA take charge of the maintenance of the structures thereafter. Augustine said he advised the gentleman to make a proposal and engage in dialogue with the vendors so that the project may be developed to accommodate their specific needs. Up next, some 2 weeks after the Tobago Council of the People's National Movement revealed their big, bold red manifesto ahead of the January 12th THA election, the Tobago People's Party has announced the unveiling of its Blueprint for Tobago, a strategic plan for the future development and governance of the island. The event will be held tomorrow at the newly constructed Uptown Fascinators Pantent in Smithfield, Scarborough, beginning at 6 p.m. And finally, in some unfortunate news, Fire Officer Bruce Lezama has been found murdered and dumped off a precipice off the Blanchissage Road in Arima yesterday afternoon. Lezama, who was reported missing by relatives on Sunday, December 28, 2025, was reportedly dragged out of his home and taken away in his vehicle. CCTV footage showed the assailants withdrawing cash from the victim's bank card later that day. Police say Lezama was robbed twice previously, and after recognizing one of the assailants, he later confronted him. The Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service has issued a statement extending condolences to Lezama's loved ones, friends, and colleagues. Investigations are continuing. These and other stories in our major newscast at 6:30 p.m. Be viewing Tobago Updates Television, and that was your news in 90 seconds. Now, viewers, we are going on to the celebratory part of the show. It's our birthday segment. We want to celebrate with those who are celebrating with us this morning. This morning, we have Miss Shazlan Solomon. Good morning to you from the Tobago Updates family, and we're wishing you a bright and prosperous day. We're wishing you a great new year, and apart from your birthday being your new year, the new year coming up ahead, we want to wish you all the best today. And to those who did not make it on our birthday list this morning, we want to wish you a happy birthday. We want to celebrate with you. So anything that you have and you want to celebrate with us here at the Tobago Updates family, be sure to send in that information to us, and we'll be right here to celebrate with you. Now we're moving right on into the rundown for this morning. We have quite a packed show this morning. We're continuing the conversations with our candidates for the upcoming THE election in January. We have this morning Darren Henry, TPP candidate for Bethel New Grange. We're going to talk to him. It's his first go at the political arena. And right after that, we're going to have Leroy George, independent candidate, now supporting the People's National Movement. And after that, we're going to give the viewers an interactive session with us this morning. You're going to join us and you're going to call us, share with us your New Year's resolutions if you believe in it or if you don't. Or what are your hopes for the new year? What do you hope to see in the new year? We're going to be opening up the phone lines at 7:40 a.m. for you to be able to share with us. But viewers, before we get into all of that this morning, I want to remind you to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back after the break.
It's Christmas time again, and if you're looking for somewhere to get all your Christmas decorations, you'll find the right place. Christmas trees, jingle bells, pine cones, gift boxes, ornaments, flowers, and so much more. And it is the season to give. Get a wide variety of toys, from dolls, bicycles, racing cars, toy trucks, board and card games, and everything in between. Get your gift wrapping paper and gift bags too. Whatever decorations you need this Christmas, we have it at Terrific Ideas.
Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas!
What's on your Christmas wish list? And can you do it with $75,000 at 0.75%? Bethel Credit Union is making your Christmas wishes come true with our 75 in 25 Christmas loan sale. Get up to $75,000 in loans at a special 0.75% interest rate as we celebrate 75 years of service, strength, and community. So, whether it's home upgrades, holiday travel, or treating the ones you love, we've got you covered. Bethel Credit Union, we see you and we're here for you. Find
Deltec Distributors Christmas Specials is here. Choose from our festive meat packages at unbeatable prices, perfect for your holiday feast. Hurry, limited packages. Order now. Package 1, $4.99. 11 pounds of leg of Thai chicken, 5 pounds pork, 5 pounds turkey, 1 picnic ham, 1 liter pear jacks. Package 2, $4.99. 11 pounds leg of Thai chicken, 5 pounds pork, 5 pounds turkey cubes, 1 chicken ham, 1 liter pear jacks. Package 3, $600. 11 pounds leg attached chicken, 5 pounds pork, 5 pounds turkey wings, 1 whole turkey, 1 liter pear jack. Package 4, $535. 11 pounds leg attached chicken, 5 pounds pork, 5 pounds turkey wings, 3 pounds fish ham, 1 liter pear jacks for $359-5040 or $237-0102. Delivery available for just $20. Daltech Distributors, Main Road, Argyle, Tobago.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Who said the elderly can't have fun too? We're talking good food, proper music, lots of games, and a day at the beach they will never forget. From the time we left the compound at Heavenly Care Home for the Elderly, the vibe was already established. Wheels up and seatbelts on. Watch now, when we touched down in Pigeon Point, everybody was ready for excitement. But before anything could take place, we had to secure our bellies. You ever play bingo by the beachside? Well, that was the first activity on the roster, and boy did these seniors have fun. However, others wanted something more physical, so we brought out the ring toss, and not even arthritis could have stopped them. Well, I was blown away at how straight these people were. Are you sure this is a home for the elderly? Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday, but nothing beats the song of Good Steel Pan by the shores while we take a dip in Tobago's finest water. Wait, more food again? This is my type of event. The energy was amazing and nothing short of a blessing. Pick up Heavenly Care Home for the Elderly, because joy doesn't retire, laughter doesn't age, and memories like these last forever.
To a stranger,
put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back. It is Youth Wednesdays, and this morning in studio with me we have TPP candidate for Bethel New Grange. We have Darren Henry, and he's here going to speak to us about why he's going into politics, what are his goals and his plans. And good morning to you, Mr. Henry, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning. A pleasure to be here.
So this morning, before we go into some of the plans and the goals that you have as the prospective candidate for Bethel New Grange, can you share with the viewers who you are, some of the things you were doing before deciding to enter the political arena?
Okay, so everybody know my name is Darren Henry, and basically I spent the last 26 years as a forest officer protecting the natural resources of Tobago. And I've been managing the Department of Forestry, so basically outside doing nature-based activities, educating people through hikes on the trails about the importance of our ecosystem, importance of our wildlife here on the island, and actually letting people know how valuable it is, and it could bring some economic returns to the island also. That's why we're supposed to preserve it and use it in a sustainable manner.
Now, you've described yourself as a servant leader.
Yeah.
Can you describe in practical terms what that would look like for the Bethel New Grange residents?
So basically, a servant leader is one who will do their best to serve the people, address some of their issues as best as possible. So, once people have their challenges, you will listen to them, you'll try your best to assist them in getting the problem alleviated, or you will point them in a particular direction that they will get the problem solved or resolved.
So this is your first time entering the political arena.
Yes, it is.
And some would want to know why make that transition. What was the defining moment that made you decide I'm jumping from a career in forestry over to the political arena now?
Well, as I mentioned, I'm a servant person. I wanted to serve at a higher level. My love for people, my love for community work, and also my love to ensure that the youths within my electoral district are properly engaged, and also that their development is to ensure that they're developed properly, basically.
Now, you chose the TPP as your platform to debut on, and in a previous media appearance, you stated it's because it's an indigenous party, it's indigenous to Tobago,
yes.
It's family values, and it's commitment to the environment. Why was it so important to align yourself with them?
Well, in terms of to my views that for Tobago to move forward, we need an indigenous party, because we have seen the challenges over the years with being given instruction from Trinidad. Tobago needs its own indigenous party who could drive the economic activity, drive the development of what people need, because this is not a new thing. This has been going on for more than a century. Since I think it's 1889 we were annexed to Trinidad, it's time to be corrected. And we have those challenges. So I think basically an indigenous party is the best way to go for Tobago. And also we're talking about the party provides a forum for people who are committed to the development of the island. It gives you that platform that you could come in and contribute. And also is striving for self-determination, basically. So those are some of the things why I chose the Tobago People's Party.
Now, also in some of these media appearances, you stated your love for the young people and your interest in ensuring that they are put at the forefront. Why was it so important that you do this, and what are some of the things you intend to roll out if your electorate chooses to have you as their candidate?
The youths are the future of our country. Youths are the future. And some of the things that I will be rolling out, training is very important. Training and development. There's an empowerment center in the community electoral district that I think is presently being underutilized. So we have to provide the necessary training opportunities to develop the skill set of the young people. Some of them are underemployed. Some of them might be working CPEP. They have a family, and they're crying that they need more. They need some assistance. So one of the means of giving them assistance is to provide the necessary training so that they could develop themselves, get involved in their own businesses, etc.
And we often talk about skills and training, and we just leave it as that. Can you define what the skills and training specifically would be?
So in terms of some of the activities, in terms of providing training, we'll be training small engine repairs. So in terms of repairing lawnmowers, brush cutters, we also look at providing training in plumbing, carpentry, mason, and what the youths want. Not just we giving them some training, but finding out what exactly they will want training in. And you provide that for them, so that at the end of the day, they will have the necessary skill set and they can go out, start their own business, or even annex them to businesses, and they will get the necessary experience so they can go out on their own, basically. Because really, the fact of the matter is that the government might not be able to employ everybody, but they have people, and a lot of people want to work for themselves. They want to work for themselves.
And I know you also mentioned the implementation of an international mountain bike trail. That sounded very interesting to me. And I'm sure those who were listening on were also a bit intrigued by that. Can you expand a little bit on that?
Well, basically, the idea is there's a 32-acre quarry that's on the western end of Susaland, and it's there. It's been reconverted into a secondary forest, and I think presently it's only being used to put plant material, basically. So there's an opportunity there, 32 acres, for us to develop it into an international family theme park with rock climbing activities for family. It will be paid, and my suggestion is for it to be run and operated by the Susaland Cooperative once that is up and functioning. And it provides opportunity for sustainable economic development, sustainable employment activities. The international mountain bike track could be only one because of many other things that could happen there, because it's 32 acres. You could have you could get activity for events where there's a bandstand, a small little botanic garden, because Chelsea Botanical Garden in England is only 5 acres. and it's an international garden. So if you take 5 out of 32, we leave with 27. So you could do so much activities there, and that is the intention of it develop, because we have mountain bike. There's a mountain bike group in Tobago that normally uses the hills in Lescato, Jesus Hill, and is to attract international activities. Sports tourism is a big thing here. It could even develop further with activities like that. But we haven't flushed out everything as yet. And obviously, the idea is within the electoral district, I have to get the approval of the EC, which is the Exec Council, to really buy into that. And I think it's a good idea that the party will buy into and seek to get the necessary funds so we can develop that activity.
And I know another key proposal that you have is the establishment of the Farmers and Fishermen Cooperative within your electoral district. Why is it so important that you establish this cooperation for them, especially when it comes to livelihood and economic development?
Right. So we need people to come together, because together, when people come together, you tend to be stronger. And in terms of forming the associations, will be better for all the farmers and fishers in the area. We have about 150 registered farmers in the area and about 50 fishers, and we really want them to come together. Actually, one guy, I spoke to a guy and he was interested, and he told me you have about 6 people already that really interested in forming the farmers thing. And as an association, you could get better prices for your goods. You could be able to lobby the government, because as a single individual, you can't really lobby much. But if you come together collectively, you'll be able to have more power to lobby for things when things are going right, or get your ideas out and make necessary suggestions.
Now, policy making is one of your stated priorities as well. And one of the things you said was when it comes to central government and making their policies, it isn't always
Tobago-centric.
Tobago-centric.
Yeah.
How do you intend, as part of the Tobago People's Party, as one of their candidates, one of their supporters, one of the persons making the fold what it is, how do you ensure going forward, once you are elected, some of these policies aren't just theoretical but are actually implemented and rolled out?
Well, the thing is, we have also, once we in the Tobago Assembly would agree on those things, then we have the 2 representatives in Parliament, Tobago East and Tobago West, who will carry the recommendations from the Tobago People's Party to Parliament, and we hope that they will agree with us and make the necessary changes. So that's the route how we will get to make those necessary changes, because we have to recommend to the Parliament, basically.
Now, for residents who are still looking on and a bit undecided, and they need that reassurance to know that you are going to serve them to the best of your ability, what can you say to them?
Well, my reputation speaks for itself. I am a humble person. I am trustworthy. I have a high integrity. I come into the party with both soft skills and professional skills in the environment. And I think that I am the better candidate because of my experience. I am basically working the Tobago Assembly. I know the Tobago Assembly functions and operates. So once elected, I can hit the ground running immediately, basically. So I'm the better candidate to choose, because I have the experience, I have the know the assembly function, I have a good networking around me already in the Tobago Assembly to get things done.
Awesome. Now, I know a lot of people look at accountability, because when it's the campaign trail, we hear all these promises, we hear all of these things being put forth into the public domain, and people are saying these are things they are going to deliver on. How can your district hold you accountable? What are some of the things that you expect from them, or things that you would do once given the opportunity to show transparency and accountability?
Well, I will be accessible to members of the public. A lot of people have some might say this, a lot of people have my access to me already. I'm accessible, I'm humble. Obviously, I'll be, ironically, when I came into the village, the electoral district, I'm a hiker. I have been walking St. Luke for a few years, walking Sutherland, walking Bethel. So people see me and my wife and I walking on mornings before we go to work. So I plan to continue to do that activity. I'll keep my foot on the ground, keep walking the community, meeting people and listening to them. And at times you may have to keep meetings, but most people will tend to want to see you personally. So, those are some of my plans for the coming in terms of meeting with the people and keeping my foot on the ground.
Mr. Henry, I want to thank you so much for joining us here
Thank
at
you very
Tobago
much.
Updates on the Youth Morning Show, and for sharing with the public your plans and your goals and the kind of person behind the candidacy. A lot of times you always get put up behind all the plans, but sometimes we just want to get to know who we are going to be putting in charge of our needs. And we want to thank you so much for coming this morning and sharing all of that with us. Viewers, that was Darren Henry, prospective candidate for Bethel New Grange. And I just want to remind you again, before we go to the break, we are opening our phone lines at 7:45 a.m. this morning, so you can come in and share about your New Year's resolutions. If you believe in it, if you don't, that's okay, but just share with us what you hope for the new year, and you can call us at 284-6597. That's 284-6597. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
This Christmas, Santa isn't the only one checking his list. At Lambo Credit Union, we're helping you give the gift that truly lasts. Introducing our Christmas Share Certificates. A gift of saving, a gift of security, a gift of love. Whether you're starting small or saving big, every share brings you closer to your dreams. Share Certificates starts as low as $100 up to $1,000 in share value. A Christmas Share Certificate isn't just a gift, it's a legacy, a promise, a head start for the ones you love. Give the gift of financial freedom this Christmas. Visit either branch of the Lambo Credit Union or call us at 639-5060 to learn more today. Lambo Credit Union, always here for you.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, Trinidad and Tobago! Santa Claus is coming to Charon's at Lowlands Mall to stock up on all the goodies for good boys and girls. I'm checking my list, and Charon's has everything I need. Christmas decorations, curtains, toys, and so much more. And the best part? The best prices in town. So hurry down, folks. Visit Charon's today before the shelves are empty. Ho, ho, ho! Charon's at Lowlands Mall, where Christmas shopping starts.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and look. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show. Do more, live more.
Better watch out, you better not cry, better not fight, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town, Santa Claus is coming to town, Santa Claus is coming to town. Hey, he's making a list, he's checking it twice, he's gonna find out
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships, it's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Tobago, the sun is rising, and so are the conversations that matter, from the economy to education, from healthcare to community voices. No spin, no fluff, just facts, truth, and clarity. Join me, Lavian, as we cover the issues that shape our lives, the stories we can't ignore. We bring them to the table and ask the questions you want answered.
The Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. It's who we are and the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. We're deepening our commitment to the region, continuing to invest in the networks, services, and digital solutions that move Caribbean businesses forward. Whether you are a mid-sized business or multinational player, we bring you resilient connectivity, personalized service, and tailored IT solutions, all powered by local teams that truly have your back. We're here to help you navigate challenges, grow, and achieve your goals with practical solutions, reliable networks, and a partnership rooted in trust and your long-term success. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
Deltec Distributors Christmas Specials is here. Choose from our festive meat packages at unbeatable prices, perfect for your holiday feast. Hurry, limited packages. Order now. Package 1, $4.99. 11 pounds of leg Thai chicken, 5 pounds pork, 5 pounds turkey, 1 picnic ham, 1 1-liter pear jacks. Package 2, $4.99. 11 pounds leg Thai chicken, 5 pounds pork, 5 pounds turkey cubes, 1 chicken ham, 1-liter pear jacks. Package 3, $600. 11 pounds leg Thai chicken, 5 pounds pork, 5 pounds turkey wings, 1 whole turkey, 1-liter pear jack. Package 4, $535. 11 pounds leg Thai chicken, 5 pounds pork, 5 pounds turkey wings, 3 pounds fish ham, 1-liter pear jacks. Call 359-5040 or 237-0102. Delivery available for just $20. Deltec Distributors, Main Road, Argyle, Tobago.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back. It is Youth Wednesdays. We're continuing the discussions about the THA 2026 elections. We are here in studio with Leroy George, independent candidate, now supporter of the People's National Movement. We are here to discuss with him this morning. Good morning, and welcome to you, Mr. George.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I am good. How are you?
I'm feeling great like a PNM today.
So you previously entered the political arena in many different spheres. You ended up being an independent candidate, and now we are seeing that you are making the shift to the People's National Movement, supporting their values and their mission for the upcoming THA elections. Why did you make that shift?
Well, exactly what you said, values and mission. When it comes to international affairs, PNM has always stood head and shoulders above the rest, and I'm speaking specifically when it comes to at the very inception in 1956, 2 years after, they would have chose the Democratic Socialist Coalition of political parties to contest the Federation of the West Indies election, sending up A.N.R. Robinson to represent the people of Tobago. And as persons who follow me know, I have been a Democratic Socialist ever since I was studying in Temple University in the United States. And also I have always considered the Federation of the West Indies to be my naturally occurring nation. So when I hear the unfortunate comments coming out of the lips of the UNC TPP political leader, Ms. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, talking about the relationship of Trinidad and Tobago and CARICOM being one that isn't so important and perhaps shouldn't be continuing and strengthening as we go along life's way, I decide to continue upon the philosophy that have always guided me, which is to fight for greater unity among CARICOM nations, and also it's always my end game to see a return to the Federation of the West Indies. So unity, integration where the English-speaking Caribbean is concerned, especially the southern English-speaking Caribbean. And so this was the very best move at this particular time, and I'll encourage everybody to make a similar move because it is of super importance.
Now on social media, there are posts resurfacing from 2021 where you openly criticize the leadership of the People's National Movement. And there are some persons who are wondering what is the stability like in terms of you as an individual? What do you have to say to some of these questions that are now surfacing in the media space?
Well, considering, as I would have mentioned, it's always my end game, Federation of the West Indies, you could imagine as a historian, I would have been quite upset with Dr. Eric Williams when he made that statement, 1 from 10 equals 0, because at that point, Mr. Bustamante would have led Jamaica leaving the Federation of the West Indies, and I always felt and still feel as though the Federation of the West Indies could have continued with the Southern Caribbean. We are more a naturally occurring nation than the English-speaking Caribbean, including Jamaica and Cayman Islands, who happen to be much further up north, etc. And so that would have been the focus point right up until the political leader of TPP-UNC, Ms. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, would have started attacking this union between the English-speaking Caribbean. Now what I'm focused on is another reality, which is that because Dr. Eric Williams, Mr. A.N.R. Robinson, and all these individuals, Larry Constantine, they would have made the decisions that would have resulted in Trinidad and Tobago today and the Federation of the West Indies back in 1958 to 1962 having a trajectory of always providing the best education for all children, irrespective of whether their parents are rich or poor. That is what socialism is about, etc. And of course, UNC is officially a democratic socialist nation. I think we forgot who we are, but me being a historian, I've never forgotten who I am. And as a result, I will always readjust towards perfection. And this is the appropriate move at this particular time.
Now that you are publicly supporting the PNM, what are your hopes for Tobago moving forward in terms of development?
My number one hope when it comes to development, I want to see human development. When I was in Venezuela about 2 weeks and some days ago, when I was in Barbados a little less than 2 weeks ago, and yesterday I was on 99.1 FM in Antigua and Barbuda. That was the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda's radio station. Consistently, I'm getting the same message as it pertains to Tobago. Tobago cannot live under the radar anymore. Everybody is paying attention to Tobago. Remember, Kamla Persad-Bissessar, she never campaigned to drag us into any ignoble war to steal Venezuelan gas or anything like that. And as a result of that, the people of Trinidad and Tobago cannot be blamed for these poor decisions that are being made by the TPP-UNC political leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar. And whilst we cannot be blamed for that, we have an election coming January the 12th, 2026. And if the people of Tobago were to make their next move, the best move, and we separate ourselves from these poor decisions that speaks to this unity within CARICOM, that speaks to a possibility of us breaking with our largest trading partner, which is CARICOM, then we will not have the plausible deniability that Trinidadians could say, we didn't know we was voting for this. We would be knowingly voting for our own destruction. And that's why I encourage each and every one, make sure 6 a.m. on January the 12th, 2026, dip your whole finger in the ink and vote PNM.
Now, in practical terms, how do you see yourself executing some of the plans that you would have probably had in the past as an independent candidate, and that aligning with the values now with that of the PNM? How do you see yourself contributing to Tobago as a whole, saying that you are Tobago-centric?
Well, first thing first, I often ask myself, what would A&R Robinson do? Right? A&R Robinson, a former PNM person, a former anti-PNM person. And I say to myself, you see, in this upcoming election, A&R Robinson would have definitely voted PNM. And that being said, from the beginning, all of my moves have always been towards me having a louder voice, so that when we get to this moment, when the Caribbean is paying closer attention to me, when Trinidad and Tobago is paying closer attention to myself, when Tobago is paying closer attention to myself, I would have an amplified voice to say, let us reunite. For example, I would have run with IDA initially, even before I ran as an independent candidate. And even though I would have been an executive council member in the PDP, people didn't know who I was. It's only after I ran with IDA, I started appearing on television, etc. People start knowing who I was. When I ran as an independent candidate, more so, people got to realize who Leroy George is. So by the time I went on to the PNM platform, I think day before yesterday, everybody was cheering. They know who Leroy George is. Everybody's waiting to hear what comes out of my voice, etc. And so I've always foreseen whatever my move is, allowing me to have an amplified voice, and it's working out perfectly and seems to be going even beyond Trinidad and Tobago now, because I'm getting more interviews in the Southern Caribbean than I'm getting here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Was this move driven more by ideology, opportunity, or practicality? Which one of these were the...
Ideology and practicality. Practically, right? Ideally, I would like to be supporting a party that entirely about reuniting the Federation of the West Indies. Ideally, I would like to be supporting a party that has a better record when it comes to domestic affairs. I really not the happiest person with the PNM when it comes to domestic affairs. I'm very happy with them with international affairs. But realistically, I have to look at which organization, which group of individuals right now are closer to the finish line. And if this table was the race, PNM about 90% up, UNC TPP about 10% forward. That doesn't mean that I'm not seeing anything positive taking place in the TPP camp. I'm seeing some improvements where democracy is concerned in the TPP camp, etc. But to get to the place where you need to get, in the time frame that we need to get there, because you need to get there now, because things could get very morbid very quickly, especially with that radar being in Crown Point. We need to take the winning horse. The winning horse is the PNM horse.
And what I'm getting is, if in the future, with your alignment now with the PNM, they start deviating again from the ideologies or the practicality that you have now moved for them, would you shift again?
That is an excellent question. The short answer is yes, of course, definitely. Always my end goal is to see a return to the Federation of the West Indies. Always my end goal is to see reunification, strengthening of the bonds, the unity in CARICOM, etc. That being said, I said short answer yes. Let me give a long answer. Has the People's National Movement ever at any point in their history not stood head and shoulders above all, including even possibly NJAC, when it comes to international affairs, when it comes to Caribbean unity? Even when Dr. Eric Williams made that unfortunate statement about 1 from 10 being 0, the answer to that question is no. The PNM has always stood head and shoulders above them. Because had we gone with the predecessor of the UNC TPP, which at that time was led by Mr. Capaldeo, not only would we have voted for the Democratic Capitalist Coalition of political parties, we would have gone into a situation, because if you understand what capitalism is, we would have gone into a situation whereby if you're a poor little child, you're not going to get the best education. If you're a poor sick person, you're not going to get the best health care, etc. Because money is the driving force of capitalism. And so, PNM has always been a little closer to understanding the human or the social contract that exists between any government and its people, which is that the shared needs of the people must be met by the shared purse of the people. And so, I do not foresee PNM deviating, especially now that we have a brand new political leader in Penelope Beckles. We have a wonderful individual carrying the flag for us in Tobago here, in the person of Kelvin Morris. We've seen a change of faces. I am optimistic that the one little thing, and then little now that we're comparing it to what is going on with Kamala Prasad, Visesa and the CARICOM and all of that stuff. But the one thing that I've always had an issue with domestic affairs, I'm very optimistic that we're going to see an upturn where that is concerned. I heard Ansel Dennis make an apology for whatever mistakes they make where that is concerned. I have not yet heard an apology from Pali Shabez Augustine for the shame that he has brought on the anti-PNM movement, where persons like Certica or etc. Here she talking like a stupidness, but the radar is a gift, etc. It's shame causing these kind of statements. The shame that they wait 21 years to discover that the driver that they put in the seat to replace the one that was driving 21 years is not making sober decisions. And I would caution the people of Tobago, if you're in a car with a drunk driver or a driver that is making sober decisions, it don't take 4 minutes to realize you need to change drivers. And it definitely does not take 4 years.
Mr. George, I want to thank you so much for coming on this morning and sharing all your insights and all that you have observed over the years and the reason for making this move. And I want to say to the viewers, remember to stay tuned. We are opening the phone lines for you to share with us your New Year's resolutions at 284-6597. We're going to be coming right back after the break. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
It's a different type of thing down there. What? And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas!
What's on your Christmas wish list? And can you do it with $75,000 at 0.75%? Bethel Credit Union is making your Christmas wishes come true with our 75 in 25 Christmas loan sale. Get up to $75,000 in loans at a special 0.75% interest rate as we celebrate 75 years of service, strength, and community. So, whether it's home upgrades, holiday travel, or treating the ones you love, we've got you covered. Bethel Credit Union, we see you and we're here for you.
Get ready to rewind the clock and ring in 2026 80s style. Magdalena Grand Beach and Golf Resort invites you to an unforgettable New Year's Eve retro party on December 31st, 2025 at the Tobago Lounge from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. No babysitter? No problem. The kids' slumber party is on. Let the kids have their own night of fun while you dance the night away. All at the small cost of 100 TT per child. Early bird tickets $450 single and $800 for couples. For further details, you can contact us at 868-660-8500 or email guest.service@magdalenagrand.com.
It's Christmas time again, and if you're looking for somewhere to get all your Christmas decorations, you'll find the right place. Christmas trees, jingle bells, pine cones, gift boxes, ornaments, flowers, and so much more. And 'tis the season to give. Get a wide variety of toys from dolls, bicycles, racing cars, toy trucks, board and card games, and everything in between. Get your gift wrapping paper and gift bags too. Whatever decorations you need this Christmas, we have it at Terrific Ideas.
the Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. Rooted in connection, driven by community. It's who we are at the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back. And as promised earlier in the show, we were announcing that we would be opening our phone lines to you so you can share your New Year's resolutions with us. Previously on the show, we had a TPP prospective candidate for Bethel New Grange sharing about his candidacy, some of the things he plans to roll out in his tenure once he is elected. And then right after that, we had Leroy George talking about his move from independent to now supporting the PNM because of their values and their ideologies, and how he's always been Tobago-centric and ensuring that he's aligned with the party that is moving towards the democracy and ensuring that we are moving back to the West Indian Federation. Some very interesting conversations that we had this morning. It is New Year's Eve, the final page of the year, an opportunity to reset. It's an opportunity for us to reflect on the year, to express gratitude, to reflect on the lessons learned, some of the things that we need to do going forward in the new year, some things that we probably need to cut out, some things we need to incorporate. I know we always say that new year, new me, but I always believe that our resolution should start at any point in time throughout the year. We had quite an interesting year, as Lavian shared with us this morning earlier on Sunrise Tobago. I know as we step into this last day, we're holding space for gratitude, the lessons learned, and the hope for what is ahead. So our viewers, will remind you again, we are opening the phone lines for you to share with us. What are some of your hopes? Anything about the politics that you want to share with us? Anything that you're hoping for the political parties in the upcoming THA 2026 elections? I know it's quite a stiff race. There are people who probably in the past, when they voted the TPP in past 4 years ago, they are probably now displeased, who may be shifting their allegiances back to the PNM for whatever reason. Now is the opportunity for you to share with us here on Tobago Update the thoughts that you have in mind. And we're also looking at the geopolitical tensions that are currently ramping up. We have seen Venezuela striking some of these areas where they saw airstrips with other foreign airplanes and setting up within the Venezuelan region, and that tension is currently ongoing, as well as Lavian spoke about this morning, South Sudan, Yemen, the unrest that is happening internationally. And I know we are all hoping for better in the new year. We're hoping for humanity to take front. We're ensuring that we're putting our brothers before ourselves, and that we continue to have that spirit of unity. And we're not just thinking about ourselves, but we're thinking about those, our neighbors. We're talking about our children. We're talking about our families, what we want for them in the future. And some of these things are also going to reflect in how we go out to vote at the polls for January 2026. Reminding you again, the phone lines are open at 284-6597. We are here to listen to your New Year's resolutions. Anything that you have in store about the politics, anything that you wish to share with us, we are here waiting to listen to you and for you to share our views. Phone lines are open. Share your New Year's resolutions. I know some of my resolutions are simply going to be around health. It's going to be around my emotional state in terms of how I'm going to deal with persons, relationships, how I'm going to eat healthier. I know some of that are resolutions. And we have a caller. Good morning to you and welcome to Youth Wednesdays and Happy New Year's Eve to you.
Thank you, and good morning to you, and good morning to the wide family of Tobago. Well, I'm seeing you have a political atmosphere right now, and it's the blue wave. I was once a PNM, and I changed to TPP, and it's not me alone. It's about close to 100 and something of us are strange, because PNM had the time. And if you want change, change is constant, and TPP, we have to give them a chance. So you see this wrongs here. Last election I voted PNM. But this time I'm going to vote TPP because I'm seeing that PNM had their chances and they're telling too much of lies too. That is what is getting me vexed with PNM. They are telling too much of lies. Last election the campaign and say, if they vote TPP, they go close down URP and keep it. 4 years after, TPP and URP still in existence. They come back with the same thing again, they close down URP and keep it. And these are the things that I don't like. That's why I'm more from PNM to TPP, because they are telling too much lies on the platform.
Well, caller,
they're not genuine.
Opportunity at the polls on January 12th to make your selection yet again, and we want to thank you so much for joining and sharing with us this morning. Viewers, before we come back again on the phone lines, we just want to take a short break and we'll be right back.
Get ready to rewind the clock and ring in 2026 80s style. Magdalena Grand Beach and Golf Resort invites you to an unforgettable New Year's Eve retro party on December 31st, 2025 at the Tobago Lounge from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. No babysitter, no problem. The kids' slumber party is on. Let the kids have their own night of fun while you dance the night away. All at the small cost of 100 TT per child. Early bird tickets $450 single and $800 for couples. For further details, you can contact us at 868-660-8500 or email guest.service@magdalenagrand.com.
Hair goals, we've got them. At S&R Hair Fantasy, we provide a wide variety of quality hair, the latest hair accessories, adult toys, skin lightening products, female underwear, and much more under one roof. Check us out on Shelbourne Street in Plymouth or call us at 317-0808. We're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. S&R Hair Fantasy for queens who know exactly what they want. Deltec Distributors Christmas Specials is here. Choose from our festive meat packages at unbeatable prices, perfect for your holiday feast. Hurry! Limited packages. Order now. Package 1, $4.99. 11 pounds of leg Thai chicken, 5 pounds pork, 5 pounds turkey, 1 picnic ham, 1 liter pear jacks. Package 2, $4.99. 11 pounds leg Thai chicken, 5 pounds pork, 5 pounds turkey cubes, 1 chicken ham, 1 liter pear jacks. Package 3, $600. 11 pounds leg Thai chicken, 5 pounds pork, 5 pounds turkey wings, 1 whole turkey, 1 liter pear jack. Package 4, $535. 11 pounds leg Thai chicken, 5 pounds pork, 5 pounds turkey wings, 3 pounds fish ham, 1 liter pear jacks for $359-5040 or $237-0102. Delivery available for just $20. Deltec Distributors, Main Road, Argyle, Tobago.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So, even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
This Christmas, Santa isn't the only one checking his list. At Lambo Credit Union, we're helping you give the gift that truly lasts. Introducing our Christmas Share Certificates. A gift of saving, a gift of security, a gift of love. Whether you're starting small or saving big, every share brings you closer to your dreams. Share Certificates starts as low as $100 up to $1,000 in share value. A Christmas Share Certificate isn't just a gift, it's a legacy, a promise, a head start for the ones you love. Give the gift of financial freedom this Christmas. Visit either branch of the Lambo Credit Union or call us at 639-5060 to learn more today. Lambo Credit Union, always here for you.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome back, viewers, to Tobago Updates. It's You Wednesdays, and we are winding down to the end of the year. It is Wednesday, December 31st, 2025. It's New Year's Eve, and I am joined on set by Love You and Cupid, no stranger to you here, our viewers on Tobago Updates, and also by Nana, one of our technical members of our team here at Tobago Updates. We're just going to be discussing our New Year's resolutions and having a bit of a light conversation. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning again, and welcome. I'm glad to be here on Youth Wednesdays. Always feeling youthful here on Youth Wednesdays. I see Nana has a piece of equipment here. Now, viewers, for you who always tune in at 6:15 a.m. with sunrise, you get this beautiful aerial view, and that is because our technical team is a bomb. We epic over here. Nana, what is this you have here?
Toys. It's for Aaron and Zavik, and these are their toys they use every morning, to bring all those live shots to you all, Tobago Updates prides itself of going beyond to give that viewer that experience, and so this is just one of the many toys that they have in their arsenal to bring those amazing, beautiful drone shots to you all in the morning, and it's not only just toys, but next year, I know the producer, Mr. Woods, we could say we're doing traffic reports. We're doing some traffic reports, live traffic reports in the program. So during the morning show, when Renessa and Nakalabi are hosting, we'll be having traffic reports. So viewers now could see how the traffic is moving from
Wilson Road traffic lights.
Well, with traffic lights,
where you stuck?
Palmons, Sherburne Roundabout, Signal Hill, Orange Hill. So that's one of the features that will be added to the morning show from next year. And next year's when, like,
no, next few hours after we culminate in Magdalena tonight.
Oh yes. You in Magdalena tonight, Vanessa?
Actually, no, I'm not.
Serious?
Serious.
So what are your old years and New Year's plans?
I usually just spend time home with family. We reflect and we keep it very chill. Yeah.
Okay, and Lavian, what's up with you?
I am not very certain. Magdalena is, looking like it, but I'm not very sure. But I'm definitely going to be spending some time with family first. But I just want to ask you, Nana, was this a piece of equipment we used for nomination day when we would have followed the the entourage down from countryside, and we had all that beautiful aerial view coming down the road. Was this the piece of equipment we used?
Yeah, one of them, because we have two, so it was one of them. Yeah.
Well, viewers, you see that Tobago Updates Television 2026. Of course, we are still young. We are infants in this business, but our quality, our technical crew, our lovely hosts, like myself, Vanessa, and Chanel, and all the others, we put on quite a show for you, professionalism and technical skills to the T. But Nana, we're going into the Tobago House of Assembly election. Tomorrow we have the blueprint from the Tobago People's Party. We bring in coverage. But what can viewers look forward to when we're talking about logistics, even on the day of election, keeping everybody on their toes and informed?
Well, yeah, you're trying to...
No, we're not putting any cat out of the bag, but we're just letting people know that Tobago Updates Television is the station, is the premier station to take them all the way through.
But before I even reach there, first I want to thank everybody who does work inside Tobago Updates and Tobago Television, because we are a small team and we do a lot.
Look about with Talawa.
And if you're in the television business, you know there's a lot of work we do, because other than the morning shows which happen every day, we add sunrise, so that's come to work earlier, and plus we have the productions in it. Well, clients pay us to do productions in the night, so the team is out there doing all those productions and stuff like that. So I want to thank all the staff of Tobago Updates who contributes to making our programming, the newsroom, because the news moved from half hour to almost an hour now, so that's a lot of work. So I want to thank all the guys and the persons behind that process. I want to thank all the hosts. Renessa, you are in the morning show now. You and Akalabi, Chanel, Natalie, the news, Duenas, Natalia, and even like the news presenters. We have we have Kristen, we have Lavian, so Joel, Stan. So it's a small team that's expanding, and we're doing a lot. And I must say to you all, if I didn't say it before, that when I went for Tobago Day, a lot of the Tobago diaspora really appreciate the work that you all are doing. They really look towards Tobago Updates for that eye into Tobago. But to answer your question about elections, what's way? I don't know what kind of question that Lavian put me on spot is. Just look out, we have some surprises. We have some surprises, and one of the things that I pride myself in is not to do things the mundane way. Go big. Within reason. So we have a few surprises that we want to drop on election day and election night. On the sunrise show, we see that we got a LED panel.
Right.
A LED panel.
Of course, I be looking like CNN up there. Y'all be seeing me up there. Welcome to Sunrise.
So we got the LED panel. So that's one of the things that we added to it, and we have a lot of motion graphics and stuff that we be looking to put on that. And we have two more things in development. We have a website in development that the viewers will be able to follow the results live. As we follow it live in studio, the viewers could follow it live also. And I wouldn't let the cat out of the bag on the next two pieces of technology we'll be implementing. Next Tuesday, Gospel Life, Health and Strength, we'll be debuting the next piece of technology.
But Nana, I was going to ask about the New Year's resolutions for Tobago Updates, but you already listed them.
Yeah, because
he didn't need any prompting.
Clearly, it's quality, growth, and professionalism.
Yes.
That is what we have here.
Yeah, that's my wish for Tobago Updates and Tobago Updates Television, is it to grow from strength to strength to strength, because we have been around for 4 years. October 18th this year was our 4th anniversary. We didn't celebrate anything much because we all know the economy and stuff like that, but because most of the resources have been put in towards the THA election 2026. And one of the things with Tobago Updates, we pride ourselves on doing things different from everybody else. And we are around for 4 years. thank God for that. It's been a challenging 4 years, and people from the outside say we make it look easy. We make it look easy, but it's a very challenging time. And I want to thank everybody who supports Tobago Updates, from the business community who advertise here, from the Tobago House Assembly who advertises here, people who donate towards the running of this place over here. We want to really thank the management of Port Mall for allowing Tobago Updates to be in this space, because to put a TV station in a mall, you know, you have some stuff to do also too. So, you know, we really want to thank the management of the Port Mall of having us here, and also want to thank Recotech Limited, who's a technology partner, for, you know, helping us here also too.
Now, viewers, that was Nana sharing with us the plans for Tobago Updates going forward. We also had Lavion here sharing how elated we are here as hosts for what the new year has in store for us here at Tobago Updates. And we just want to thank you again this morning for joining us and viewing us. We will be right back here for the new year. We want to tell you to stay with us, and remember to stay tuned and share the live. We're going over to GMT up next.
World AIDS Day has been recognized since 1988, and over the years it has grown into a meaningful global tradition. It brings together governments, health workers, advocates, families, youths, everyone, because the fight against HIV is something we all share responsibility for.
So, World AIDS Day is important because we need to continually remember that we are still dealing with HIV and AIDS in Trinidad and specifically in Tobago. This is an opportunity for us to continue the discussion. This is an opportunity to remind the population that, you know, we have these STIs that are running around. If we are not safe, we will not be healthy. So I appreciate this opportunity, and I particularly appreciate the fact that we are focusing on the young people for this World AIDS Day, because that is what is really needed to change the culture that's required.
My experience was eccentric to say the very least. Our teacher, she worked wonderfully, even with disruptions into the class. She worked with them instead of circling around them or going over them. She made them part of the lesson and made the learning experience beautiful. I hope that it serves to actually better educate the people, to get rid of the old people stigma that we got from our parents, grandparents, and thus forth. I hope that we can live a truer life with this knowledge and use this as a template to go forward for other problems that we may have.
I am white and I represent hope. Hope says your diagnosis is not your destiny, and today we stand on that truth, and we aim to change at least one mindset every time we speak.
Empathy reminds us they are living with HIV, not dying from it.
Boy, see monster. I'm going, boy. But when me dog AIDS and like everybody there, dog, I know transfer it to me.
So tell me, where you really learn this ignorance to go and tell him you cannot give someone HIV by just touching them? So your friend running off and talking about that is not true.
What we were trying to discuss was the dissatisfaction with moral ed in the high schools, because we feel like they're not teaching enough, especially when it comes to preventing stigma against certain groups of people.
Peer training programs are programs that have always worked, because you need people who are similar to design what the message should be and to share those messages to their counterparts. And that is in essence what peer training is. So having these individuals who are part of these, these technical vocational schools be the ones to get the correct information is really a good step to ensure that they pass that information on to the people who they are closest with. We each need to do our part. We each need to ensure that our health is comprehensive, That includes our mental health, that includes our physical health, that includes our emotional health, and our sexual health is critical to that. So don't forget it. It's not a taboo thing to talk about. It's not a taboo thing to actively work on. And yeah, I think we could do it.
Choose your choices wisely still, but at the end of the day, don't regret a single one of them, because you are tomorrow.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix. And guys, you know, whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's interesting topics and conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds. Chief Secretary Fali Augustine has refuted claims made by the Tobago Council of the PNM that his administration has sold out no man's land to a private developer. On a political platform on Monday night, Augustine said no such deals have been made. He went on to explain that the THA was approached by a gentleman who offered to develop booths, bathroom infrastructure free of charge to assist vendors. The Chief Secretary said the gentleman's only request was that the THA takes charge of the maintenance of the structures thereafter. Augustine said he advised the gentleman to make a proposal and engage in dialogue with the vendors so that the project may be developed to accommodate their specific needs. Additionally, some 2 weeks after the Tobago Council of the People's National Movement revealed their big, bold, red manifesto ahead of January 12th, THA elections, the Tobago People's Party has announced the unveiling of its blueprint for Tobago, a strategic plan for the future development and governance of the island. The event will be held tomorrow at the newly constructed Uptown Fascinators Pan Tent in Smithfield, Scarborough, beginning at 6 p.m. And finally, Fire Officer Bruce Lizama has been found murdered and dumped off a precipice off of the Blanchishares Road in Arima yesterday afternoon. Lizama, who was reported missing by relatives on Sunday, December 28, 2025, was reportedly dragged out of his home and taken away in his vehicle. CCTV footage showed the assailants withdrawing cash from the victim's bank card later that day. Police say Lizama was robbed twice previously, and after recognizing one of the assailants, he later confronted him. The Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service has issued a statement extending condolences to Lizama's loved ones, friends, and colleagues. Investigations on this matter are continuing. And that was our news in 90 seconds. This morning we jump straight ahead into our discussions, and we are continuing to chat with a number of the candidates in the Tobago THA election come January 12th, 2026. This morning we are sitting and chatting with Assemblyman Letitia Charles Panton, who's also the candidate for Bagatelle Bacalet. Good morning and welcome.
Hi, good morning, Chanel.
If I'm not mistaken, there has been a change in the name of your district. You are now Mason Hall South, Bagatelle, right? And so we are in the thick of the election season with, we can say, only just a few days away from persons going out to the polls and, you know, just demonstrating where they stand on the political spectrum right now.
For you, how are you feeling as you prepare for election day come January 12th?
Okay, well, I'm feeling good. Let me apologize for my voice. I woke up with a sore throat, right? Because you're walking in rain and sun, right? But I'm feeling good. I would have been consistent throughout. I've done the work. While I wish that I had all the resources that, that was possible to get everything done, and I think every candidate would have, wanted something like that. But given what we had, I think we did a good job. Yeah.
Understood.
Mhm.
And I attended the event, the launch of the 2025 Agri-Tech Summit, and I remember during that time that the Deputy Chief Secretary, Dr. Faith B. Israel, she referred to you as one of the gold standard secretaries, meaning that you really forced them to step their game up, because every other week there's an invitation coming in from the Division of Food Security for some type of event, whether it's a commissioning or, you name it, there's always something new that's happening, some type of event. How were you able to ensure that your division kind of stayed on top of everything and, always doing something new, fresh, and innovative?
Well, at first I want to thank the Chief Secretary for the opportunity. A lot of us in Tobago, we have a creative minds, and it was an opportunity to demonstrate that in leadership, empowering people, encouraging people to work together, ensuring that people communicate effectively, basically dreaming and trying to encourage others to dream. We always talk, and I say we because a lot of us in the division, we always talk about what it would be like after retirement. And could you imagine walking into an establishment and not receiving gold standard service? I remember going into a grocery, way back before I was a politician, with an elderly man. And, he was treated so badly. And I always said to myself, I wouldn't like retirement to be an experience that, I wouldn't enjoy. So my encouragement would always be to try to fix something so that when I myself enter and I'm no longer a politician, that, I could also receive gold standard treatment. And I think all of us should want that for each other. Yeah? You would like to go to the hospital and receive gold standard service. You'd like to go into a restaurant. Yeah? So that's the idea. If we're heading towards autonomy, if we have children, bringing them up, and you want them to be proud of Tobago. And I'm sure you've traveled to, different Caribbean islands, and you'll see how other Caribbean islands operate. Jamaicans are proud of their island, Grenada, right? So we too should be proud of Tobago and contribute to building Tobago.
I see that you have a number of really young people around you on your team. Is it that because of the fact that you have a lot of youth and youthful insights and persons that are really excited for change, that oftentimes when they come to you with a proposal, you rarely say no? Help us to understand.
Yes, it's very, it's unlike me to say no to anything, actually. Even if it's something that you think can't be done immediately, or maybe just need to be tweaked a bit, because I don't like to let people down. That's that's the thing. But, we have a lot of senior people behind the scenes that you don't see every day. They also contribute. So it's a mix of both the elderly and the young. And I like the fact that the elderly people, they stay behind and they nurture all of us so that, they don't take the forefront. They know that they would have contributed and they still contribute in the background, but they're trying to push the young people because they are the future. Yeah?
Understood. And tell us a bit about, some of the key projects that you were able to do within this first term in office. I know that TARI has been a big one. Help us to understand how that falls into the idea that was created of the Tobago University.
Okay. Well, we did a lot of
At
projects.
University of Tobago.
Yeah, we did a lot of projects as a division, and the idea, the chief secretary wanted to resuscitate agriculture on the island and to make it more visible, and to contribute to productivity, and so it had to become creative, and that is why we pushed all across the sectors in terms of productivity, in terms of education. TARI, we formed partnerships with UTT, so no longer you have to travel to Trinidad to become educated, because I had to do it. You can get your certificates right at Kendall Farm School, which is now called the Tobago Agri Research Institute Initiative, right? We had to fix a lot of the fish facilities, and in some cases build a fish facility, like in Palatave, for example, right? That's an ongoing project as we speak. We had to look at opportunities for vendors to ply their trade, and that is why we had the Shore Park Food Hub, and we're building the Mason Hall Food Hub. Roxborough will get their food and transportation hub, and of course Bagatelle will get their community hub as well, right? Their food hub. So we are trying to really resuscitate agriculture, right? Even in terms of processing, we would have fixed the Shore Park packing house in-house without funds, right? We empower the workers to come together, because when they looked at the budget, they said, we don't have any money. What can we do? So we get the materials, and all the workers came together and they fixed it. Yeah.
Tell us a bit about what happened yesterday. We saw something happening again yesterday at the Division of Food Security down at the Friendship Estate. Tell us a bit about that.
All right. So I think it was about June 6th thereabout this year, we distributed letters of intent, and that was at the opening of the Tobago Agritech company, where we are housing them at the Buku Training Center. And we would have distributed letters of intent. The idea is to change the way how agriculture operates in Tobago. So usually, well, in the past, they would give lands to farmers, and then the farmers still have to wait a very long time, because agriculture's allocation is extremely small, so you don't get to do all the development in terms of roads, lights, water, all of that. So from this angle, we're actually giving you the infrastructure, right? You're getting your shade house, you're getting packing house facilities on the site, you're going to get technical offices on the site. So everything will be on site to boost agriculture. On that site, you wouldn't have no animals at all. You just have leafy vegetables because of the airport. So you're not going to have any activity that's going to attract birds, right? So it's a specific type of production that we're looking at.
Understood. And even within your district, what were some of the big ticket items that you were able to do, and what were some that you planned to do but were unable to do?
What I try to focus on in my district is to focus on what the people wanted and not what I dream up. And the people actually wanted to be comfortable in their own space. So we focused more on drainage, focused on doing those little things, community bins. We had a lot of areas, and when I say areas, communities within the space that didn't have any lights at all, right? So you had Celestial View, Bacalet Point, Bacalet Inez, parts of Mason Hall, French Fort, where everybody would go and exercise. You had no lights at all. And so we installed lights, yeah. That for me was a big ticket item, because security is an issue all the time. We would have engaged the youth, teaching them how to network and work together to execute projects, how to write for funding. So we had a lot of football, we had a lot of challenges, clean up the beach, doing murals. We are, involving the youth in a lot of activities, and that's geared towards, shaping them as professionals, So we did a lot of work. We did a lot of fundraising as well, to put down traffic mirrors, to assist with housing. We did a lot of a lot of fundraising, and in some cases it was very difficult. But what I liked about assisting the people within my community, we had a lot of community support as well. So those businesses, especially Bacalet business people, they would have contributed to the development of the entire space. And that's what I love, because you have different communities within Bagatelle, Bacalet, Mason Hall, and they're made up of different people, and supporting one another. That was the biggest, achievement for me.
Right. Were there anything that you particularly wanted to see happen, but was unable to do and hope to do so if re-elected?
We'll continue focusing on infrastructure. Those are minor things that are affecting people and not making them comfortable. So we'll continue doing that, as well as encouraging networking so that we can create more professionals in the space. We would have done a lot of work in terms of employment. We will continue with that, and training young people to use the resources that they have to become entrepreneurs. So one thing could feed into the next, and you build yourself, because the Tobago House of Assembly can't carry everyone. But whatever opportunities you get under the Assembly, you feed that money into creating your own businesses. So we're going to continue with those things, and as well as we intend to do huge projects as the Mason Hall Food Hub, where we're going to provide spaces for all those vendors on the side of the road, right? We're going to do something similar for Bagatelle, because that is what they want, right? A community center, they would want something like that. And we have a lot of abandoned spaces that we could convert, historical spaces that we can convert. So we're going to look at all those things. The idea is that the people should share what they want, and we work with their ideas, all right? And that's
understood.
Yeah, that's the summary.
Tensions are rising within the region when we look at, the geopolitical situation between Venezuela and the United States of America. Even recently you heard President Donald Trump talk about a ground strike that was done at one of their docks in Venezuela, and it seems like the tensions are continuing to rise. Where does that place Tobago's food security in a situation where there is a war between the US and Venezuela, and import and export is affected?
And that is why we would have been working very hard to ensure that we beef up productivity on the island. And I'll give you an example. We had a lot of pilot projects to see what was possible. Persons told us that we would not be able to get fresh produce from farmers to supply the community care program. And guess what? We have over 300 people receiving community care packages of fresh produce. And not only fresh produce, but we also give meat, right? Meat products. So we do have initiatives that we have shown Tobago what is possible. Also, we did the poultry contract farm initiative, and when the vessel shut down, that same initiative was able to feed into a lot of the franchises across Tobago. So immediately they started to purchase local meat from Tadco. So the possibilities are there, the opportunities are there. And I am confident that once we continue along this path, and even up to last night I was saying, I'm not quite seeing the value of having that type of politics in Tobago, where we fight down everything, even the thing that would assist us with our own survival. I'm not seeing the value of that. I could understand the value of fighting for autonomy, us coming together to fight for that. And it is a circumstance like that one, and many others, that would show that Tobagonians need to come together, as the Chief Secretary has always been saying. The competent and the willing, we need to come together and fix Tobago. Yeah?
Understood. You indicated that within your community, your plan is to just continue working with the persons and whatever their desires are, especially infrastructurally, the ways that you want to go. Do you see yourself possibly returning to agriculture if re-elected? or are there any other areas that you have thought about venturing into and lending some of your support and skills?
Well, the idea is that the chief secretary determines that, yeah, that's it. That's how it goes. But I have a passion for agriculture. I think everybody is they're seeing where it can go. To just stop in abruptly in the middle of it, it would be, it'll be, of course, I'll have experienced some emotional hurt because you would have started a lot of things that you could see to the end. But I have no issues with what the chief secretary would want to do, because at the end of the day, we all are here to work together despite where we are. All right? In agriculture, you basically do a lot of things. And some areas you can do agro-ecotourism. Part of agriculture is community development, where you provide spaces for vendors. So you do a bit of everything, and then you get a partner with every division. Even infrastructure is part of agriculture. So to me, you get a feel of every single thing. So it doesn't matter where I go, but I do have a passion to see the agriculture work and to create a legacy that someone else, could look back and hold on to as well, so that it could, be a sustainable industry.
When you're walking through the community, what are people saying that they desire from leadership and from their representative in this season?
When I walk through, people speak about what affects them within their spaces. In terms of leadership, they are happy for the most part that someone is there to represent their views in terms of every district, as a matter of fact, because you leave home and you go everywhere. People are more or less encouraging us to continue along the path. They're seeing a lot of activity happening in the space from Crown Point to Charlottesville, right? So it's just encouragement you're getting. And I appreciate that a whole lot, because it's a very tough job, especially if you didn't have resources. And you had a lot of fight during the 4 years, but I think we would have weathered the storm. And that's important. We are resilient people in Tobago. We go through a hell of a lot here, and we still continue as a people. And that's what I like about being a Tobagonian, and being a woman in particular, because we go through so much and we still, push on because we just have to.
Are you looking forward to the election season winding up? Are you ready for it to just be over with? Are you excited for election day? How are you feeling in this moment? Are you already exhausted from all the campaigning? Where are you mentally and physically? Well, physically, we saw that you came with a bit of a sore throat this morning.
Exactly.
So it means that it has already started to take a toll on the body. Tell us about that.
I feel good. It's not the first time I've been campaigning. I've campaigned for myself, I've campaigned for other people. But I feel good. I think that I'm championing a worthy cause. So I definitely am confident that the people of Tobago know that we are working for them. And that's the most important thing, that we're working for them.
Is there anything that you want to say as we wrap up the discussion this morning to members of your constituency and to Tobagonians as it pertains to you vying for this representative role again in the upcoming THA election?
Well, I just want to say that let's continue the journey. We have been doing a lot in this space, not only at a district level, but at a divisional level, at the level of THA. So we just have to look at continuity. And you know, I appreciate all the support, all the love, all the beautiful flowers I get from my garden, right? And I just want to tell Miss North Bagatelle, even the new area that I would have inherited as well, that I love all of you, and you know, I appreciate whatever support I can get, and you know, and I thank you.
Excellent. Well, we want to thank you so much for being here this morning, and we are wishing you all the best in the upcoming THA election come January 12th. Guys, we're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back after this. See you soon.
Who said the elderly can't have fun too? We're talking good food, proper music, lots of games, and a day at the beach they will never forget. From the time we left the compound at Heavenly Care Home for the Elderly, the vibe was already established. Wheels up and seatbelts on. Watch now, when we touched down in Pigeon Point, everybody was ready for excitement. But before anything could take place, we had to secure our bellies. You ever play bingo by the beachside? Well, that was the first activity on the roster, and boy did these seniors have fun. However, others wanted something more physical, so we brought out the ring toss, and not even arthritis could have stopped them. Well, I was blown away at how straight these people were. Are you sure this is a home for the elderly? Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday, but nothing beats the song of Good Steel Pan by the shores while we take a dip in Tobago's finest water. Wait, more food again? This is my type of event. The energy was amazing and nothing short of a blessing. Pick up Heavenly Care Home for the Elderly, because joy doesn't retire, laughter doesn't age, and memories like these last forever.
To a stranger.
The Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. Rooted in connection, driven by community. It's who we are at the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
Now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
ho! Merry Christmas, Trinidad and Tobago! Santa Claus is coming to Charon's at Lowlands Mall to stock up on all the goodies for good boys and girls. I'm checking my list, and Charon's has everything I need. Christmas decorations, curtains, toys, and so much more. And the best part? The best prices in town. So hurry down, folks. Visit Charon's today before the shelves are empty. Ho, ho, ho! Charon's at Lowlands Mall, where Christmas shopping starts.
And we are chatting with Pastor Gatlin Arthur-Chance, who is also the principal of the Transformation Foundation right here in Tobago. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, and it's a pleasure to be with you on the program.
Excellent. Tell persons a bit about what the Transformation Foundation does as it pertains to its students. For persons who are unaware, it's a private institution right here in Tobago. Tell us about it.
First off, the Transformation Foundation is a foundation, as the name implies. The school is built into the Transformation Foundation. It's a day school. It's at Riseland, Tobago, that area where the international school has been. One time Dominion Security was there, so that gives an idea as to exactly where it is located. We named it the Transformation Foundation because we want to take away the stigma that people have concerning special needs children. When that's my feeling. Some persons may think differently. When people realize that the children there have intellectual disability, or they're on the autism spectrum disorder, they kind of, a group of people will do that. Oh, those are the children who are, and they like to use their terms that we don't use anymore. So we have children there, from 8:30 to 3 in the afternoon. It's a full day school.
Right, and this institution holds students with different special requirements as well. Tell us about, the array of kids that you see.
Okay, we have children who are on the autism spectrum disorder. Autism is a spectrum. You could go from mild to severe, and there are a number of differences in the children who are diagnosed with autism. We have trisomy, Down syndrome. Let me give the broader term, Down syndrome. Just a few of them. And we have a few with cerebral palsy. That's about it that we have there. We do a normal curriculum. It depends on where the child is at, because it's the least restrictive environment. So depending on what's the potential of the child, we work to suit. So and I don't want to lie because I'm a pastor as well. So we are supposed ideally to have the individual education plans. Now that requires a multidisciplinary approach. So we should have the parent, the nurse, the psychologist, the OT, occupational therapist, the physiotherapist, a number of persons on to meet the general needs of the child. So we do it to a certain extent. But there are some of the children there that could do the regular curriculum, mainstream curriculum. So we use the mainstream curriculum and we tailor it to the needs and the abilities of the children. Some of them are more severe than others, more profound. so they're not able to do those things. So you give them like life skills. How do I go to the bathroom? You teach them how to use the bathroom. You teach them how to eat. It depends on their special need.
Are you currently in partnership with the Division of Education? What is your relationship like with the division?
I know we are a private institution.
Yes, I know you are private, but
Yeah,
I have heard
I
on several occasions
yeah,
the secretary
yeah.
talk about, the introduction of new
Okay.
special and smart schools on the island,
Okay.
and just expanding that level of inclusive education for different students.
Well, that's in the making. I've been in education for a number of years. Since I was 18, I was a teacher. I spent 16 years in student support services where they deal with special needs children. So I have an on-the-ground understanding of how we do special ed in Tobago. There are some things that are in the making because I retired. I'm not a spring chicken, I retired. And I never plan to go back into teaching because as you rightly said, I'm a pastor as well. But I think God wanted me in it because I saw the need. And something that I've realized, although there are some things that are required as it relates to registering with the government, when people work for the government, the majority they don't have the zest and the enthusiasm, some might I say. You can't fire them, they will go to tutor, and I prefer to keep it private because I get more out of people. You have to work. You have to do what is required. Because if I speak to you, we have 7 teachers, by the way. Because if we speak about something and we realize that you're not doing it, then eventually you will have to leave. That doesn't happen in the mainstream. So there are things that I know concerning special ed from working in the area. I work at School for the Deaf, Speech and Hearing Impaired. I was at Princess Elizabeth, home in Trinidad for a little bit. I've been to the schools, mainstream, entering the mainstream and identifying special needs children. I know how it works. There are some things that you don't talk, so
Understood.
yeah.
Understood. Tell us a bit about some of the activities that happen there for the students year round.
All right. So one of the things that, because most of the population, they are on the spectrum, autism spectrum disorder, they thrive on routine. So children, special needs children, must be timetabled. They need to see what is happening next. That's what they thrive on. Communication is not their first language because children with autism, they have communication problems, social, behavioral and social problems and whatnot. So just as in the mainstream, we have the literary area where we do math, language, all the areas in language, vocabulary, everything. And now it depends on where the child is at. The child's intelligence, what they're able to do, their capabilities. We also have, we come in the morning, we have Christian education. I almost said religious instruction / Christian religious, same, right? So we have that. They have this on some mornings. They do swimming. We do swimming at that place at what they call that YMCA. Yes, they do swimming. We have Trevor Lindsay, who comes in to do sports with them. We have those who are involved in cosmetology, because we have some girls here who loves to beautify themselves. So they do nails, they do in hair. Somebody comes in to do that. They have tech time because these children, all children love that thing that you have in front of you there. So generally we do food and nutrition, do the full works.
Understood. And how can persons reach out to you to get their children involved in this foundation and, get the type of education or social exposure that they need?
Okay, well, I believe that Gatlin Arthur Chance is a name that I wouldn't say the young people like you, but that they know about. My number, should I give you my
Yes,
number?
definitely.
It's 485-6465. 485-6465. Really, we don't want to have too large a school population, because when you're dealing with special needs children, there is need for one-on-one interaction. And then we have children who are not verbally, they speech impaired. And that's a thing with children with trisomy 21, some with cerebral palsy, and some with autism, So, what was I saying?
You were saying that you don't want too much people, but
right,
in terms
because
of persons
we want to
getting
be
involved.
able to meet their needs.
Right.
As it relates to student-teacher ratio, we want to make sure that, it stays within a certain number. For example, we have about 6 classes, and no class is more than about 8 children, So we may be able to take a few in, but we don't want to get too large.
Well, I mean, if you do get more students interested, you may
Oh
have
yes,
to
we
expand.
have classrooms that we use for like activities. Like we have a resource room, and we have another room that children will go and just cool off, because children are like that. They have some behavioral issues as well. They may have some tantrums, when children are not able to communicate their needs.
Yeah.
They become frustrated. And apart from that, children, how they, so sometimes they have to go in a room and just cool off. They may go there and do some type of activity. So we have 2 rooms where the children we have resources, a number of resources for them to relaxation, resources that they like, because each of these children, they fixated on a particular thing. So you try to find that initially, and you provide those things so that they would be able to use them. We don't just do academics. I know that we spoke about, people talk about inclusion all the time. I was in the system for many, many years. Inclusion, there are requirements for inclusion, and we don't have that yet in Tobago. Just the size of the toilet is an area that we know well. Once you don't see a toilet for, a wheelchair, then inclusion. Once you see all your doors the same size,
Yeah.
inclusion, So generally, most of our children are children that would have some issues in the mainstream. However, what we have done over the years that we functioned is that we may take a child at a particular stage, and when we work with them, we see improvement in them, and I will liaise with the mainstream principal, and we get a few out into the mainstream, Because although there are concessions, and concessional requirements, sometimes because of the system that we operate in, it's better for some of them, if they can function in the mainstream, to function there with an aid.
Understood.
So we do things like that. We had a child came in, and parents keep those children home,
Correct.
They don't, So we had a child that came in about 8 years. He didn't have much speech. But while he was there, he just fluent speech. He was talking more than me. Academically, he was at he has a good IQ, high
Okay.
IQ.
So was he being homeschooled, or?
Well, he was
or
at
parents
home.
just don't see avenue within the current
Sometimes
existence.
parents don't trust people with their children that are on the spectrum, or they have a special need. Sometimes they just don't trust them. They can't communicate well. They can't communicate their needs, and they think that, it's better they stay with me, but it's not good for them.
Yeah.
Because a parent may not be around all the time. They need the exposure. So I was saying that this child and 1 or 2 other children, what we did was to try to get them out in the mainstream, and you just connect, with the mainstream management to see how well they're operating in the new system. But they still would need support to stay on task.
Right. And students with autism are usually seen as also being very innovative in the way how they think, and being very smart.
Yes.
So how do you facilitate the needs that are a bit special while also fostering that genius in them?
Okay. Well, as I said before, we have a number of resources. And one of the things that we don't do is like in the mainstream, you have a curriculum and you must follow it.
Yeah.
Right? In detail, you must follow it, do your notes a lesson and whatnot. Our children do a lot of individual work. So if we have a child who has a inclination to be higher in an area, we give them the exposure for that. So although we want to make sure that they follow the curriculum, because there's a system here. You move from primary into secondary, and you have to have that type of education before before you could get a job and that kind of thing. So we make sure that once they are able, they do the mainstream area in terms of the curriculum. But if, for example, a child is good with what they call space and shape, you give them an opportunity to build things, like that. You give them an opportunity to do things that would cause them to develop in the area of strength or the area of gifting by the resources. If you were to see our resource room and the resources that we have there, you will see them doing that. And they have the tech time, so if they feel to build anything on the computer and whatnot, some of them are brighter than us.
I know. Well, we want to thank you so much for being here this morning. And finally, as we round up the discussion, how can persons give or contribute to the Transformation Foundation?
Okay. Well, as I said, I gave you the number. I want to give it again, 485-6465. And we invite people to come in. At times, we invite people to come in. It's right in at Riceland. So just call the number and come in. Right. I'm usually sometimes I'm on TIN every week, so I always promote it. And that's it. Most of the things we finance it on our own.
Understand. I know a number of Tobagonians locally and abroad are always willing to give back to these type of foundations and see areas improve, particularly when it comes to that same inclusivity in the area of education. And we hope that in the future that there would be some level of partnership with the initiatives that the THA
we're working on that.
As they try to build out that inclusive education department. Well, again, we want to thank you so much, and we're wishing you all the best for the new year at the Transformation Foundation, and to all your lovely students over there. And so persons know that they can reach out to you and contact you just to find out more about what's happening, or walk in and visit, maybe come by with their child and just let them see that there are other students who are just as special as they are, and give them a place to feel loved and included.
And all of us are special in our own rights.
Correct. Well, guys, we want to thank you so much this morning. Thank you for being a part of this morning's discussions. Thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and all that you have been doing and continue to do to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on Tobago Updates. And so we give you again a happy new year from our team here in Tobago. We want to thank all the persons within the diaspora who has supported us for the entire year of 2025, all the staff, all our viewers. Again, we could not be here without you, so we want to say thank you and happy new year to you. Have a great day.